Hello everyone and welcome to my review for Kengan Omega Chapter 88. This chapter, man was this a hype-ass chapter. Probably the most hyped a chapter has gotten me in some time. For a number of reasons. I guess three big ones I should probably go over. Just in order going to be Dongcheng, the power level or whatever, like the ranking of the remaining Purgatory fighters, and the match that we have coming up in the next chapters. So, starting off with Dongcheng. The guy apparently is a practitioner of 5 different Chinese martial arts, which is nuts. I don't think we have any other fighter in the series that knows that many martial arts. There's maybe Chiba, but Chiba is garbage. But I'm hoping this means that Dongcheng is actually a master of 5 different martial arts and not just, he knows 5 different martial arts. Because, the old thing, I'm more scared of a guy that's practiced one kick 10,000 times than a man that's practiced or performed 10,000 different kicks one time each. So hopefully he is not, somewhat competent at all 5 and a master of none. I will be impressed if Dongcheng is a master of all 5 of those martial arts. Hopefully we won't get, Chinese Kempo, the 4,000 years of Chinese Kempo. Hopefully Dongcheng will not turn out to be a complete jobber like a lot of Chinese martial artist practitioners tend to be in a lot of Japanese manga. Pretty sure that, I know a lot of people have noticed that trend in a lot of fighting manga where Chinese characters show up, get hyped up, and then just get absolutely shit on because they're Chinese. I'm fairly certain that's because China and Japan do not have, a great history with each other. But I will be very satisfied if Dongcheng does actually turn out to be super good. And this is weird because now it's really unclear whether or not Dongcheng actually is top 5, because maybe, possibly, almost all of the remaining Purgatory fighters are actually top tier, but I'll get into that in a second. We did get a confirmation of who the Demon Fists all are, and it's all because they're Chinese. Apparently Purgatory is very proud of their 3 big A-rank Chinese fighters, that being Lu Dongcheng, the Serpent, Lu Tian, the Centipede, and Fei Wangfang. Someone in the comments last week mentioned how these epithets seem to come from the various animals involved in a goo ritual, which, if you don't know, is an actual real thing that they perform to make poisons. Which will be important later on in this video, and it's probably going to be important through most of this fight that we have coming up. So someone in the comments said that the serpent, the centipede, and a scorpion are the 3 main creatures that they use in a goo ritual. Or at least that's the 3 main ones I found when I checked Wikipedia, and that seems to be the main 3 that most other people mention. Which means that Fei Wangfang is most likely the 3 Demon Fist Scorpion, which is a really cool name. I don't think Scorpion, other than Scorpion, isn't really used in names for fighters that much. At least not anymore. So that's actually a pretty fucking badass epithet. But anyway, now the rest of the Purgatory roster. Since before the tournament's even begun, they've been talking about how, the A-rank in Purgatory is no joke, and I guarantee you the 13 A-rank fighters they'll pick for this tournament, they're the cream of the crop when it comes to the A-rank. And then you had the whole thing about Hikaru losing 5 of his 14 matches in Purgatory, and I'm I guess 5 people in Purgatory are stronger than Hikaru, but it seems no, actually, Hikaru is just fucking garbage in Purgatory. Oh, poor Hikaru. He just can't catch a break. That is such a shame. He got 0 divisioned. They were hyping him up the whole series, and he got absolutely stomped by Misasa. But I'm going on to a tangent here. It seems very possible that all of the remaining Purgatory fighters are top tier, which is fucking insane. Like, if the guys that have gone just so far are trash, that's ridiculous, because Toa is busted, and Nidon was super strong too. So if these guys aren't even, like, top 5, that's crazy. So what do we have left? The three they made the biggest deal about in this chapter were Lu Tian, Jiroda, and Lolong. Now, we already know Lolong is, he's serious business. Lu Tian, once the Demon Fist thing was introduced, I was kind of like, oh man, Lu Tian, we can see. And we're going to be talking about Lu Tian for a while. And Jiroda kind of gave me some vibes. I think it's actually possible that Jiroda may be the Tiger's Vessel, which I joked about a little in last week's review, but I'm being kind of serious now. These guys, Ryan comments about how strong these guys all seem. He tries to punch Jiroda. Jiroda doesn't even flinch. He's just like, oh, whatever. Lu Tian blocks it, no difficulty, even if it's base Ryan just kind of playing around. Ryan is like the strongest living member of the Kure clan. So that's, like, no small feat whatsoever. So for him to be able to block that with 0 difficulty is like, oh, shit. And Ryan himself is like, oh, Lolong. Interesting. And then we have to consider, these were just the 3 that showed up to stop Dongcheng from trying to kill Ryuki and the others. We still have Wang Fang, Le Banner, and Tarashi. Is that everyone left? Yeah, I think so. I mean, these guys are not, like, really to be... Oh, yeah, and Alan Wu. I forgot about Alan Wu. He may be super good, too. I mean, we haven't really seen much from the Wu clan, but if they were going to send Alan to be in the tournament, it's probably safe to assume that he is one of the stronger members of the Wu clan. So, we have all these guys that we've been considering to maybe be top tier for a while now. But now it seems like we may have, like, multiple fighters who are Fang level, like, at the very least, second round Annihilation Tournament Fang level, which is crazy. And it doesn't seem like Kengan has that many fighters of that level left. Like, a lot of these people are going to get shit on unless they don't fight by the rules or they have, like, a direct counter to the opponent's fighting style. Which is making me wonder why they've barely done any fucking research on these people. Kazi has been pretty useless for this tournament so far. Like, he really hasn't done anything. Everyone's just sort of like, I'll go next, and they walk out. But I'm getting sidetracked here. It seems like Purgatory may actually have a lot to offer now. Hopefully they won't all just be memes from this point forward. We got some interesting developments between Tarashi, Le Banner, and Wang Fang. And that Tarashi was commenting about how, you guys don't seem, like, super torn up over our, like, fellow Purgatory member dying. Le Banner says that once the tournament's over, they'll go back to being enemies. So it seems really up in the air if these guys are even still Worm members. Like, if you can even still assume that they'll be Worm members, or if one of them's the Tiger's Vessel. Apparently, maybe I don't remember well, but apparently the Tiger's Vessel was supposed to be a new person in Purgatory. So if Wang Fang is a longtime member as one of the 3 Demon Fists, that may count him out. Tarashi being concerned doesn't really seem like, if you were the Tiger's Vessel, why would you be concerned about Nidon dying? And Le Banner is questionable. Le Banner is still a contender. I really don't know. Like, Nidon's thing from last week really messed everything up with me thinking that Le Banner was a Worm member. He could be a former Worm member. It could just be, hey, Le Banner likes killing people. Don't trust him. Maybe Nidon wanted to make sure Dongcheng didn't get caught up in any Worm business. I don't know. We'll have to find out, really. Now, the last person. The Purgatory member who's probably had the least screen time thus far, until, like, this chapter, is Jiroda. The dude really hasn't done anything. He's just been kind of standing around looking like he's about to pass out any minute. So, we'll have to keep our eyes on that guy. See what he's up to. But, yeah. Now, it's time to talk about round 6 of the Kengan versus Purgatory tournament. Lu Tian versus the 5th Fang of Metsudo, Kano Agito. Oh my god. I cannot understate how fucking excited. Understate? I cannot overstate? I can't overstate how fucking excited I am right now. Let's take a look at this here. Kano's first fight in the series against Okubo. One of the highlights of the first round of the Annihilation Tournament. Very good fight. His fight in round 2 against Gao Lang, widely considered to be the best fight in the series. Round 3 fight against Hatsumi. Pretty alright, I guess. I mean, Hatsumi just kind of got shit on, but that was mostly to show how strong Kano was now. And the semifinals, the fight against Kuroki, another one widely considered to be the best fight in the series. What I'm getting at here is that basically every single fight that Kano has is among the best fights in the series. So, I have very high expectations for this fight. A lot of the fights for this tournament have been kind of meh so far. Gowling versus Carlos was alright. Rihito versus Falcon was actually, like, in my opinion, it's up there with, like, the upper half of Kengan Ashura fights. I think that I recently watched Grando's MMV for that fight. It's really good. It's actually way better than I remember. Round 3, meh. Round 4, meh. Some people even think round 4 was shit. Which, I mean, I'm a little more generous towards it. Round 5 was pretty good. Still not as good as Falcon versus Rihito, but pretty good. Fucking Kano Agito versus Lu Qian needs to be a top 10 fight. Otherwise, I will be disappointed. Kano has the best fights, some of the best fights in the series. If they shit the bed on this one, I'm going to be very upset, to say the least. But, yeah. And with the strength feat from Lu Qian, and the fact that he was baiting Kano to come out and fight him, Lu Tian could be top 3. He could be top 2. I mean, Lolong is very clearly being hyped up as the strongest with what Ryan was saying. He was like, oh yeah, Lu Tian and Jirota, they're pretty strong. But that guy, referring to Lolong, he was like, ooh. By the way, Lolong moved. He stood up. I'm sure. That's a very impressive feat from Tarashi to be having a conversation with Wang Fang and Le Banner, like, literally minutes after suffering a fucking seizure from seeing Lolong instant transmission into the arena. Yeah, so that's another thing. If Lolong gets shit on, if he gets jobbed for when his fight goes, I'm gonna drop the fucking series. If they hype the guy up this much and then he's just a complete disappointment. But before I talk more about Lolong, which I'm going to talk about a little bit, Lu Tian seems like he's pretty fucking strong. He baits Kano with this ring. It's not clear what it is or what it's made of. Some people have joked it's a big cock ring. Someone has said that, oh yeah, he did some research and found out that Kano has been playing a lot of Sonic the Hedgehog since he's left the Kengan Association, so he's mocking him, saying that he's going to make him lose all his rings. But the least jokey explanation or theory I've seen has been that that ring is like dried leaves that they use as medicine to cure a goo ritual. And Lu Tian has probably done research to see that Kano was the sole survivor of a goo ritual performed on humans. I also think we're going to find out a lot more about that, because it also seems very possible, due to his, epithet, and, like, the same bags, shadows under his eyes, he has the same as Kano, that Lu Tian probably also had something to do with a goo ritual at one point. So, I think we're going to be finding out a lot about that, and once again, I have very high expectations for this fight. I'm very excited. This, if it's done well, will be one of, if not the best fight of this whole tournament. Maybe the entirety of Kengan Omega, because it's a Nagito fight. We'll just have to see. Now, I do think Agito is going to win, but I think that Lu Qian is going to give him a hard time, which depending on what's happened with Kano, if he has in fact gotten stronger after the Annihilation tournament, Lu Tian is, like, at the top tier. If he's able to give Kano a hard time, the Kano Agido that, under certain circumstances, according to the author, is able to beat Kuroki Gensai, yeah, like, that's really serious shit. He's top 2 if he can do that, pretty much. Top 2 in Purgatory, I should specify. So, yeah. Lelong. I was thinking a bit about Lelong recently, and I think it would be interesting if the guy doesn't even practice, like, some really esoteric special martial art. He's just a guy that basically does street fighting and has completely mastered it. Because you know how in real life, a lot of martial arts are just completely useless against basic street fighting? Like, if you just fight some guy that is stronger than you, that understands how to fight people, he'll probably kick your ass. I think it would be really cool if Lelong isn't some guy that's like, oh, he's able to evolve during fighting, or he has a formless style, or he has the magic Nico style, or he spent the last 40 years of his life doing partial training on every joint in his body so that he can use his fingers and toes as hand spears. No, I think it'd be cool if Lelong is just a guy that, like, fought people on the streets or whatever and just got super good at it, and he just perfected it as, like, an art, and he's the best person in the world at the very basics of fighting, and that's, like, really all you need. That'd be really cool. I think that would also make him a good matchup for Wakatsuki or Okubo, because Wakatsuki is mostly just brute strengthing with karate, and karate's like a fairly basic martial art, so that could work. If we're going to have, like, an S-tier versus S-tier fight with Lelong, he's going to fight Wakatsuki. That's really the only guy left at that level, other than Oma, but the worm stuff going on leads me to believe that Oma is going to fight the Tiger's Vessel. Whoever that may be. Could be Jiroda, could be Wang Fang. We'll have to find out. But if Lelong is going to have, like, a top-tier fight, like, a fight amongst the people at the top of the series, it's going to be against Wakatsuki now, which would work. To have, like, the veteran fighter of the Kengan Association going up against the king of the Purgatory matches. That would work. Or you have the theory that Okubo is going to finally get to fight another final boss, and actually maybe beat a final boss. We'll have to see. Listen, if Okubo has gotten strong enough to beat Lelong, that's fucking ridiculous. That would be the biggest power boost of any of the fighters who've come back from Ashura. Or he could win through the rules, but I kind of doubt that the king of Purgatory would lose by rules. He would know how to fight under the rules better than anyone else. But, I mean, that could still be a possibility, especially if Lelong basically just does MMA. That would be fucking perfect. If we could just have an MMA fight as, like, the last round of the tournament, that would be awesome. So, anyway, this chapter has made me very excited, both for this upcoming fight and for the rest of the tournament. Hopefully, we're not going to have any more meme fighters. I mean, we can have a little bit of meme, but not all meme like Carlos and Falcon were, and how Yumigahama has become afterwards. You can look at the comments from the Japanese fans. Some of them are actually pretty hilarious, but a lot of them have talked about how fucking useless Hikaru is. But with that, that's really all I have to say for this week's review. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. I do Kengan Omega chapter reviews every week. My current subscriber goal is to hit 1,000 by the end of the year, and considering we went from, I think, 250 to over 600 in about a month, that is very possible. So, if you're interested in helping me reach that subscriber goal, please click that subscription button, and I'm sure you won't regret it. If you enjoy other series such as Record of Ragnarok, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Chainsaw Man, I do videos on those series as well, so if you're interested in those, you should definitely check out my channel. If you enjoy discussing Kengan Omega with other people, or you just enjoy the content I produce on this channel, I highly suggest you check out my Discord server. I have a link to it on my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you around.